Is it really okay, though? Such a high-class restaurant?
Of course, there's no need to worry, ladies. You're part of our family, so of course we can eat as much as we want, right?
I'm single now, ma'am.
What?
Trouble Busters!
Oh, I'm so full.
Me too, Mom. Let's go home now. Thanks for the meal, Alan.
My name is Alan. 3 years ago, I realized my life dream and opened a high-end sushi restaurant. My mother-in-law, Mrs. Smith, regularly invites family and friends over and leaves without paying the bill, just because she claims this is her daughter's husband's store. That's unusual. Hello?
Make me a reservation for 20 people for tonight.
Excuse me?
All of a sudden, my relatives came up from the countryside, you see. It's a weekday, so I'm sure you're bored anyway. I'd appreciate it if you reserved the whole place for us.
No, ma'am, I can't help it anymore. Oh, hello, this is Alan Thompson.
It's really delicious. We would never be able to eat something like this out in the country.
Eat all you like, folks.
Is it really okay, though? Such a high-class restaurant?
Of course, there's no need to worry, ladies. You're part of our family, so of course we can eat as much as we want, right?
That's over the...
You see, it's fine. Come on, let's eat our hearts out.
Are you sure?
The city, I've heard, is pretty scary. What with pickpockets and whatnot, I left most of my money at the hotel.
Me too.
I'm telling you, ladies, it's all right. If we're going to pay anything, we'd go to a store with a proper owner.
How frickin' dare you say something like that? Up until now, I've put up with all that bullshit and treated them to feasts because it was my wife's family. But I can't disregard how they would rent out a restaurant for 20 people, and then have the audacity to say they would rather go elsewhere and pay for the food. I will not tolerate this anymore. Unforgivable! Troublebusters, initiate!
Oh, I'm so full. My stomach might be in a bit of shock after eating such delicious food.
Oh, I'm so glad we came to visit.
I'm sad we weren't able to see Cynthia.
Seriously, what on earth is that child doing? She never even answered the phone.
I guess it can't be helped since this happened so suddenly.
I suppose. I'm still so grateful that so many people came together tonight. Well now, shall we go home? I'll take you to the hotel.
And now for the bill, ma'am.
What are you talking about, darling? We're family.
No matter whose restaurant it is, you pay for what you eat, don't you?
Usually, yes, but think about it.
Huh?
If I went to your house and you served me a great meal, it would all be free, wouldn't it?
That's right, ma'am.
And I don't understand the point of asking for money just because the location is different.
Hey, Mary?
It's the truth, isn't it? Why do I have to pay to eat here when the same person is making the food?
This is a restaurant. It's different from making food at home. Even the ingredients are different from what you buy at your local supermarket, ma'am.
All that bullshit you say won't get you paid, son.
Huh. So you really haven't heard anything, have you?
Huh?
I'm single now, ma'am.
What? What are you talking about? This can't be true, can it?
I hope not truly.
It's the truth, ma'am.
There's no way Cynthia would divorce you without telling me. Besides, you treated me to a feast when we came here 2 months ago, didn't you?
As I said earlier, I'm divorced and single now. In other words, you guys are not my family or anything at all anymore.
Are you serious about that? Why hasn't Cynthia said anything then?
She said that she and you were on rather bad terms and didn't want to contact you. When I divorced her, she told me that there was no need to go out of my way to report it to you. And I was asked not to mention it at all, because she was gonna tell you eventually.
What the hell?
That's the truth. For 20 people, the total bill is $3,000.
$3,000? There's no way I could pay that kind of money, Alan. This is a huge ripoff.
There's no way I'd be ripping you off now, would I? Remember the prices, ma'am? We're simply charging the correct bill for 20.
Why does sushi cost that ridiculous when you can make the same at home? This is outrageous, young man.
It's completely different from what people eat at home, ma'am. I go out to buy the fish really early in the morning and manage the temperature appropriately in the storage room out back. If I say so myself, it's not something you can easily eat at home.
But still, $3,000? Am I right?
Since this is a sushi restaurant, there is no all-you-can-drink or all-you-can-eat options. Also, the price per piece is comparatively quite high. If you were to wolf it all down like you did, it would certainly cost you $3 grand.
Mary, you said we didn't have to pay, right? So you never talked about it properly with Alan here? No, it's just that it's always free when I come here. I came here tonight with that expectation once again, and you didn't say anything earlier, did you? If you wanted us to pay, you should have said so from the beginning, eh?
It's simply normal to pay for food at a restaurant. Don't you think it's out of common sense not to pay unless told otherwise?
I should sue you for defamation for embarrassing me with so many relatives present. Would you like that, eh?
You can sue, sure. But first, I'd like to report you for dining and dashing.
Excuse me?
Hey, Mary, why don't you just stop it right there?
What shall we do? She told us it would be all right if we didn't bring any money with us tonight. So all I truly have is the bus fee to the hotel.
Me too.
I didn't know you were divorced. What the hell did you do to my precious daughter? I'm sure something huge must have happened for her to divorce you.
How can you say it was all my fault?
After all, Cynthia's a perfect child who can do housework and be considerate towards everyone. I cannot forgive you. As compensation for your heinous acts, you pay me the bill tonight.
Ah, so you play that card, do you?
That card? I guess the reason why you didn't contact me at all was because you felt guilty?
I guess so.
What the? Why are you acting like it's someone else's problem?
I just didn't say anything because I was told not to. I think it's Cynthia who's feeling guilty.
What do you mean?
Guess it can't be helped, so I'll tell you. The reason for the divorce was Cynthia's affair with another man.
Cynthia? An affair? Oh my word, how disappointing. You would get divorced over a little bit of infidelity? Got a short fuse on you, eh?
I would have put up with it if she cheated once or twice, but the third time? Well, even I was at the limit of my patience.
Thrice?
That's not all, ma'am.
What?
Cynthia went into debt, you see, without my knowing about it.
Debt?
By the way, how much debt?
Including everything she borrowed from financial institutions, friends, and my own parents. I think it was about $35,000.
No.
My family has turned a blind eye to this, but it couldn't go on any longer. What's more, we're renting out the store for you today, so if you don't pay, it'll be code deep red for us.
Mary, do something about this.
Yes, you take care of this. What? Didn't you ladies eat a whole bunch too? Why should I be the only one who...
And who told us it was okay if we didn't pay?
You can see things are different now though, right?
I know the situation is different now, but we're trying to get you to pay us back too, you know.
Like parents, like children. Now both are in debt. Outrageous. What the? I'm telling you, I'll pay you back properly soon.
It's been 3 years of you saying the same damn thing, Mary. Didn't seem like it was gonna be resolved anytime soon. That's why we came out from the country.
You don't have to say that kind of bullshit now, eh?
Anyway, if you don't have enough money right now, you just have to ask your husband to bring it to you.
What? No, I can't do that.
Why not?
That person is a very strict and scary person who hates crooked things. Be a big deal if he discovered something like this.
It can't be helped, can it now?
What? If he discovered that you were divorced, it would be a big deal for you, Alan. If you don't want to be discovered, do something about it today.
I don't really care if he finds out.
What?
Mr. Harrison.
I'm so sorry for calling you here when you were busy, sir.
You? Honey, why are you in this hellhole?
How rude! This is my hellhole, thank you!
Didn't you say you'd be home late from work today?
I received a call from Alan this afternoon.
What?
I had a bad feeling about tonight, so I asked him to come. I was working in the office of a business partner, so I couldn't talk much about the details at the time. I'm so sorry, sir. Calling you right in the middle of work. Well, after listening to this story, I kind of understand everything now. What do you mean you haven't been paying Alan, Mary? Seems like you've dined and dashed quite a few times before. You were trying to go home with that same intention today, which is why this situation's arisen, eh?
No, honey. I never had enough money, and I was planning to pay for it all later on.
Pay for it all later on? You came here to a restaurant, and even intended to treat everyone to a nice feast. And yet, how much do you have on hand now?
About $40.
Is that all you have? You can't afford to pay even for a single meal for one person at a high-end restaurant like this.
I don't have much on hand, it's true, but I thought Alan's store would be able to accept credit, so I went along with it.
There's no point in saying all that shit now, Mrs. Smith. You've never once come to pay me later, have you?
I was planning to go, but I forgot, and perhaps I was too spoiled by your kindness, Alan.
What you're saying is quite different from what you said earlier, isn't it?
What are you talking about? This is going to get complicated, so just shut up.
There's no point in saying anything more, Mary.
Huh?
I was listening to the conversation at the entrance, see? You sure have guts saying ridiculous things so loudly and shamelessly.
No, sir, please.
The hell you mean, no? Dining and dashing as though it were a family custom. And furthermore, you're freaking indebted to dear Miss Mira and Miss Sarah. What the hell do you think you're doing? Don't you feel pathetic as a person and as a mother?
But this guy stayed quiet about the divorce.
Were you listening properly? He clearly stated that Cynthia was the reason for the divorce.
But that shouldn't justify leaving me in the dark.
Cynthia was the one who asked him to keep quiet. She also caused the calamity.
But still, things like that are extremely important. The fact that she asked him to keep quiet doesn't matter. I cannot forgive him.
Do not change the topic. No, it's my fault for not telling you sooner, sir. All things considered, I should have persuaded Cynthia to let me tell you. I'm sorry. No, son, I don't blame you at all. More importantly, though, I'll pay the full amount for what's been eaten. Could you also charge me for the dining and dashing that's been going on, to your knowledge? The dining and dashing? Are you sure, sir? Of course. I'm taking responsibility for what my wife did. I think it'll be a considerable amount, but are you truly sure, sir? Yes, son, I am. Calculate exactly without disregarding a single penny.
Don't go that far. It's only normal for family-owned restaurants to give out a little bit of service, right? It's true that I may have taken advantage once too many times, but he's always been okay with it up until now. I don't think...
I never wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt, ma'am. I just didn't want to see Cynthia worry about her mother's impending phone call. If this was gonna be the case, I should have talked to Mr. Smith sooner.
What's the fun in making me the bad guy, eh? If you had told me that from the beginning, I would have paid for everything.
No matter if you're family or anything else, you have to do things like this properly. Are you too old to understand that? Would you fly to Hawaii for free if you had a relative who was a pilot? If you had a relative who was a school principal, would you let your child enroll for free? That's what you're doing, essentially. Shame on you! For now, about today's bill of $3,000, and the accumulated amount up until now... What's wrong? By my calculations, 14 grand for the last 3 years, sir. 14 grand? There were days when she came alone, and others when she brought friends along. Occasionally, they also ate course meals.
Isn't it a little too overboard? I don't remember eating...
I have all the receipts, ma'am. I'm glad I kept them in case something happened in the future. I'm sure you'll understand once you check it out. I haven't ripped off a single penny. Huh. I went to the bank when I received a call from you today, son.
Why?
He told me you had made a reservation for 20 people, and that you might not pay for anything. What are you saying? That's impossible. That's what I thought. I'm just glad I brought more. I'm really sorry, son. Thank you so much. I would also like to set up a discussion to negotiate the issue of Cynthia's alimony. No, we've already decided that there will be no division of assets, so... I see. Like parent, like child, they've caused you huge inconveniences, my boy. I'm truly sorry for everything. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Mr. Harrison, can you also return my $2,000? I have a total of $3,500 unpaid. I wonder if there are other people among us who've lent money to her. Hey, now is not the time!
What did you use that ridiculous amount of money for, eh? There must have been a lot of allowance in addition to living expenses.
There was a time when I went out with neighbors and I ran out of money and...
Neighbors, you say? What I've heard is that you found someone else, but you couldn't get him to break up with you, so you desperately needed money to settle the matter.
Shut!
I didn't ask the reason specifically, but she mentioned it would be a big problem if her family found out she didn't have money.
So that's what it was.
No, honey. Listen to me.
Miss Mira, Miss Sarah, I'm afraid it'll have to be tomorrow, but I will definitely repay her debts. I'm so sorry.
George, I'm so sorry about this.
Don't get me wrong.
What?
I'm merely buying your debts for now. You will pay me properly back later on, with money you make yourself.
Why? I've been a housewife ever since I married you. Even if I was asked to work at this age, I don't know if I'd be hired.
How are you going to make a living from now on with that in mind, eh?
What?
When we get divorced, you'll have to fend for yourself, see? If you give up from the beginning because you can't do it, how will you survive?
Divorce? You're joking, right?
Do you think I'm joking? There's no way I'll be able to live out my old age with someone who causes trouble to others for her own personal gain, and even cheats on me without showing any remorse.
No, please. If I divorce you, I'll be ruined.
Experience for yourself what it's like to make money by doing anything, even part-time jobs. When it comes to the alimony for cheating, I think we should follow Alan's example and decide not to divide the assets.
Alan, son, please help me. Convince him somehow.
Even if you ask me, you are already a stranger to me. So all I can say is do your best.
Clara, is it okay for your mommy and daddy divorce?
Huh? Yeah, I'll live with Dad.
You're going to betray me? You've eaten here a whole lot too, haven't you? That's only because you told me I could eat here for free.
Clara,
Yes, Daddy?
you're 28 already. Don't live off your parents anymore, and live on the money you make. I'm not going to help you anymore. You hear?
No, please. Please forgive me.
And that's how my life finally became peaceful. My ex-mother-in-law got divorced and was kicked out of the house. And now she seems to be living a modest life with her youngest daughter. As for me... Welcome! The people whom Mrs. Smith used to bring are now coming on their own. Of course, they paid a price properly, and they are very happy with the top-notch quality of my sushi. In this respect, I must say I have gratitude towards Mrs. Smith. You gotta lose a fly to catch a trout sometimes. Trouble busters.